The program ended yesterday, and it was exciting. You had your certificate and your coin, and everything looked so exciting from there. You did the full program. You did the journaling and the breakthroughs. There were so many breakthroughs. And you're a new person now. And you've got the support, and everyone's cheering you on and telling you how great you are and how courageous and brave you have been up to this point. And you're feeling like anything's possible. And then the door closes behind you. And you see that you're here. And suddenly there's nothing. The silence is loud because the chats ended, the calls have ended. Everyone thinks you're okay now, so they've got on with doing whatever they do. And you're stuck here thinking, what now? What do I do now? Does anyone see me right now? I named this the Day 31 Cliff. It's the free fall between when the door closes and you finally find your feet. That moment, or those moments. It can be short, can be long, and that's not the thing. It's the Day 31 Cliff. And I've been there. And I realized while I was there that there was nothing really there to witness me at that moment. And I realized as well that there were 3 lies that I kept telling myself at that point. And I want to share these lies with you and break them one at a time together. So the first one is, I did the work. I shouldn't feel like this. And you have. You did the journaling. You did the breakthroughs. The breakthroughs were great. You did the circles and the support groups. You did all the right things. And yet, you still feel like you have to hold on so tight to make sure that you're still here, to make sure that you're okay, to make sure that you'll get through the next day, the next time. And one day you're walking through the supermarket, normal day, and you suddenly find your chest is tightening and you feel like you are having a heart attack. You are so suddenly so anxious and so afraid, and you don't understand why. It doesn't make sense, right? I did the work. I did the work. Why is this happening to me? I don't understand. And it's possibly the best thing to say right now is there's nothing wrong with you. And that's probably one of the most difficult things to realize. It's not failure. It's just what the story you're telling yourself right now. And it's a feeling of absence, like something is missing right now. And the truth is, you see that one day you're in the same aisle and you feel that same anxiety rising within you, but this time you open your mobile. And it's not to scroll or to find some relief as a distraction. You open it and you see the anchor. And you realize that that absence, that was the lie. And the next lie is, well, I just need the next thing. It's day 31 now, and I know that in those 30 days I felt so good and I felt like I was getting somewhere. So all I need now is the next thing, the next course, the next coach, something. I need something. So you find yourself scrolling at midnight, or just scrolling and looking for the next course, looking for the next thing, just to fill that gap for the next 30 days, to make yourself feel better. It has to work, right? It worked before, only to realize that day 31 comes again. It always does. And then you're stuck again with the same story. I just need the next thing. So the cycle continues, one day after the other, 30 days after 30 days after 30 days, or 90 days, or 120 days. The days don't matter, because the day 31 always happens. It always matters. And then one day you realize, wow, this is happening and I'm in the cycle. All I have to do is break the cycle. How do I break the cycle? Because we realize that insight is great, breakthroughs are awesome. But insight is pointless if we don't take action and do something about it to change the energy. And so then we realize we have this. We have the insight. And now we need. And now we need the we just need something, a protocol to show us that with action, the insight becomes insight. We change the energy, we change the perception, and suddenly we realize that the next course is not really what we need. What we need is to acknowledge the day 31 and work through it until we find our feet. And that changes everything. And then we have the third lie. I should be doing this alone. And that is the biggest one. The biggest lie there is, because you have the certificate. Or the funeral's over. And in some way, you feel like that certificate is saying to you, I'm healed. I'm healed. I should be doing this alone. I should be able to do this on my own because I'm healed, right? That's what the certificate says without saying it, but that's what it means. And you go through, again, going through white knuckling it all along the way and seeing that you can do this alone, you can do this alone, I can do this alone, I can do this alone, I can do this alone. And you feel like you're doing this alone. But you're holding on so tightly. People ask how you are, and you go say through gritted teeth, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. And everyone just continues living their life, continues, because you're fine, right? And you see that you feel like you need to be witnessed by someone else all the time. And you feel like you have to perform right now at this moment. Perform you being okay. Perform it's okay. Perform and pretend that you're okay, because after all, you have to do this alone, right? And you realize at some point that a queen always has witnesses around her. They always do. And she does her performance if she has to, but a queen never performs for anyone else. She chooses her witnesses. And she realizes that those are just hers and her decision. And so there's a point here when you see that the performance is no longer needed, just the witnessing. And you can be witnessed without judgment or performance or anything else. And then it's that moment when you're writing something down and you realize that You're writing that down for you, by you. And it doesn't matter anymore who is out there, because the performance is not necessary anymore. And that's what I built. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't have to perform for anybody. And right now, I want to show you this, because that's much easier that way. So for 2 minutes, I'm going to hold the silence. 2 minutes. If you're on day 31, stay. If you're not on day 31, stay anyway. That, what you just felt, that's what I built. I lived it. I built it. I published the DOI, but all the while the body already knew. The Breakfear Decoder is a sovereignty experience. It's a witness. On day 31, and it witnesses you from that free fall, the day 31 cliff. It witnesses you from that free fall until you find your feet. And that can be 10 days or 2 months. You have control. Question, reflection. And then it gives you a protocol to change the energy, a visual anchor to hold on to for a moment or more. You decide. And then 3 days a week, the silent room, a place where you witness, you're being witnessed. No performance, no speaking, no expectations, no judgments. Just you and everyone else there. You decide what you do with that time, because this is yours. Because sovereignty is luxury, and being witnessed is worth everything. Everyone else's doors close at 5, so you still have your therapists and your doctors or whoever is you working with at that time. They're there, but at 5 p.m. all the doors close. The Breakfear Decoder is awake all the time. So whatever question is making you feel the way you're feeling right now, or whatever lie surfaces at that moment, the Breakfear Decoder is there to witness you, to show you back to yourself, and to give you that small protocol to change everything, to change the way you see yourself, to change the perception of yourself at that moment. This is what I built. It's $97 a month, a witness, present whenever you need it. It's confidential. Whatever you say to it stays there. And you decide what you do with the insights. I'm inviting 10 people to experience this, to experience the Breakfear Decoder and Silent Room. 24 hours for the Breakfear Decoder, and Sunday at noon we open the Silent Room. You use it the way you want. You play with it any way you see fit. I don't see it, and nobody else does. If this feels like you're at day 31, then comment day 31 Cliff and I'll send you a link. Someone watching knows exactly what the cliff feels like. And you already know that this is yours. I'll also put a link for Isvella in the comments. She's the concierge for Break Fear Decoder ecosystem, and she knows everything about the Break Fear Decoder and the silent room. If there's anything still questioning you, you can speak to her and she'll tell you, answer all your questions. Isvella will be in the comments, and day 31 Cliff, your comment.